Good afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd start by telling a little story here. Way back in the late 70s, I would go play in San Francisco or different little places once in a while. And it was not for just entertainment. It was to sell a piece of equipment. And I really enjoyed the Wurlitzer organ. The console Wurlitzer organ was spinning speakers and the whole bit, boy. And they were heavy instruments. Anyway, so the music store that I was actually managing, people came in one day, I was playing. They said, "Do you play anywhere?" I said, "Occasionally." And he said, "Well, here's the address of the restaurant we have in San Francisco." And I said, "Well, what kind of crowds you have?" They said, "Well, it's not bad, you know. Come early so you can get a place to park out on the street." I said, "Okay." So I planned on being there a couple hours early. And I got there and just joking with the guy, and I says, "Why don't you have a raffle?" And just literally have people write their names on a ticket, on a napkin, and charging $10 a piece, and we'll raffle off this organ. And I'll tell you why I said that. I got there, and I had to park 3 blocks away. There was a Kuwa restaurant at that time, or Kuwano, I can't remember. I think it was Kuwa. Anyway, so it was a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown, and so the streets were up and down and everywhere. So I parked the van, and I took the organ out of the truck, and I had a contraption that I tied to the strap to the organ, so it had handles on each end, and then I had to start pulling it up 2 blocks, pulling it up. And so I'm going up this hill, and I get all the way to the restaurant, and it's got about 20 winding steps going up into the bar. So I asked a couple people to hold the organ so it didn't roll down the street, and I ran up there, and he came out, big smiles, and he was so happy to see me and everything. Anyway, so we got the organ in, and then he wanted it up on this pedestal. And the restaurant was above in other words, the restaurant was down on the floor, and then up above they had places where you could sit. And up there was this area where it was kind of close to the edge. And he said, "Let's put it up there so it sound all the way across." And I'm thinking, God, what am I going to play in here? What kind of music should I play? And I hope they don't suggest anything. And so I went up there, and the first song was just kind of weird. Standing ovation. And played the second song, standing ovation. And so then I figured, well, I need to drink something out of these little cups. And so I had a couple drinks, and boy, did we have a nice night. Oh, it was fantastic. But the thing is that he did a raffle. And I ended up splitting the raffle with me, and I left the organ there because we paid for the organ. I didn't have to move it out. And then I'd go there every month and play for 4 hours. Anyway, but I'm going, and it's kind of crazy because, it wasn't a language I could understand, but the people were so nice. I mean, really, really nice. You come off the street and you feel like, oh, what am I going to do? It's like Crazy Annie, and they were just wonderful people. And, very nice. Tips good, everything. It was a beautiful situation. And the organ was there, and I'd just go over there and I'd play for nothing. I just, for tips only, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up here, but what I'm going to do is that I thought that I would just imagine I'm going to walk into a club, a European club, over there in Europe somewhere. And you've seen the movies. And the age group is going to be somewhere over 20 to maybe at the most 40. But the age group is going to be mainly in the late 20s and early 30s. And they're going to be dancing to a certain type of music. And I was asked to go play there. So my fantasy is that I walk through the door, and they were supposed to have instruments there that I could relate to, similar to what I have here. And so I went up there, and they looked fine, and I had to set up a beat. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to write a song, and you're going to watch me, and you're going to join into that process. And I'm going to have a varant, or whatever you say, a verision, or whatever, of me being in a club like that, and what I need to do to get their attention. And we'll give it a shot, see what happens. I'm going to use a piano and a heavy beat, as you know what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Ran out of air. That was my fantasy and my Verizon, or whatever you want to call it. So there it is. Hope you enjoyed it. I might take a break and play slower songs for the next 3 or 4 days. See you later. Take care. Good night.